forever. What? Have you listened to Burna Boy's Love Damini? Dude is amazing. Love Damini featuring Khalid. Burna Boy as an artist. Burna Boy as an artist is amazing. This is why he's going to take Africa far. This is why I believe he deserves much more award, Grammy award, because this dude is world class. He's taking Africa far. He's living the life. He's lyrically, he's there. Musically, he's there. He's taking Afrobeat far. Man, I mean, Burna, if you're watching this, keep doing you. Keep being amazing. Keep being the African giant that you are. This video is not about Burna Boy, by the way. My name is Nora Mohammed and welcome to Nori's World. I'll be doing this today with Patricia here. I figured I'll be doing this vlog alone and I just didn't want to be alone, so I hope she cannot just be lying there. Let her come and join in this vlog. Please give this video a thumbs up after watching. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and if you can, please share. Again, my name is Nora Mohammed and you are welcome to Nori's World. Usually we talk about fashion and other hot topics, but today I'll be sharing my word with you. I did say in my bio that I'll be sharing my word with you one video at a time. This is one of those times where I'll be sharing a part of me with you, and in this video I'll be sharing a horrible event that happened in my life as a teenager a little over a decade ago. It was a terrible experience, and I hope those that are watching, or those of us that are giving birth now, will protect our kids as much as we can. I hope someone out there learned from this. I don't know, but I just want to share this so that you all can, learn a thing or two. I did share this story on Facebook one time, and a few of my family members were calling me, how come, when did this happen, how were you able to get through this and all that. So this is a video representation of what happened and from my mouth to you. So let's get right into it. There'll be a lot of he said, I said, she said while I narrate the story. Please bear with me. I did say in my introduction vlog that I joined a group in my place while I was growing up, an entertainment group. We had dancers, we had musicians, we had rappers, we had actors. I joined as a dancer, and we organized a show, and this show ended at night. I didn't think it was part of the plan. We didn't know it was going to last that long. So we organized the show, and while I was heading for the show and preparing, while I was heading for the show, my mom handed me over to my neighbor who was also a member of the show, and she told her to keep me safe and bring me home since she's older and bigger, obviously, than I was. Or she's still bigger than me now though. So for the sake of this video, of this narration, I will refer to her as Jane. So my mom handed me over to Jane and we went for the show. Then we closed pretty late. We closed at I think around 11:30 or 12 a.m. and of course we had to find solution to where we are going to sleep. But the place wasn't conducive enough. There was the mosquito factor, the environment, and I insisted that I wanted to go home. Before that, I hadn't slept outside my house, and I didn't think the president thought of accommodation for everybody, because we didn't actually know we were going to stay that long after the show. So I met with Jane and she said her friends were taking us home. I was excited. Finally, I got something that would take me out of the cold or mosquito to devour. So we waited and the friends came. When they came, they brought a car, I think a red car. I was glad finally we were going home and in safe hands, since Jane said she knew them. But before we left, I noticed the guys were four. One drove down, one was at the passenger seat, and two were at the back seat. So I met Jenny. I was like, oh, there are four guys, they was like, they're my friends, that she knows them, that she called them, they wanted to come and drop us, everything was okay. I said fine. So we hop in the car. While we're about leaving, one of our members as well wanted to go home, and apparently he noticed he knew the guys, so he pleaded that they drop him off since they were going his direction. According to him, I didn't know where they lived, but for the sake of this video, I'll still refer to that member of the organization as Collins. Collins was a member of our organization, and he pleaded to join it. So Collins sat with the person that was on the passenger seat in the car, and then we were at the back, two girls. One of the guys sat beside me and the other guy sat beside Jane, so we're basically at the middle of the back seat. So we drove down in cold. Everywhere was just quiet and cold. It was just a quiet night, and we kept driving. Finally, we got to our junction where Jane and I were supposed to alight. We got there and we, brought it to their notice that this is where we are dropping, and they said that it was too risky for us to, come down from the car at this junction and then trek all the way to our houses, that it's not safe. That what they were going to do, or what they are going to do, is to go drop Collins and then come back and drop us at our houses, right in front of our house, so that they'll be sure that we got home safely. I felt it was awkward and it was strange, and I felt it was too good to be true, because Collins' house is still very much far, like it's farther than us. Why would you want to go all the way forward to go and drop Collins and then come back to drop us? And something in me just felt like, Jane knew them, I didn't know them, so I felt like everything was going to be okay. And then Jane was like, you all should not try anything funny. Don't try anything funny. She was basically threatening them that my mom is a false woman. If you try anything, we want to alight. I was just confused. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know these guys. Jane knew them, and she's the one complaining. But the guys insisted that nothing is happening, that they're just trying to protect us. They're just trying to keep us safe since we are young women. And then we got to the place where they wanted to drop Collins, and they did drop him. And when they dropped, I was expecting them to turn. Meanwhile, Collins had this smirk on his face, like he was just smiling in a sort of way that looked suspicious. And then I asked that they turn so that they can go all the way back to our houses and drop us. And then they said no, that they are going home to pick up something. That was when I started shouting. No, you guys, you said that you drop us when you get to Collins' place. This is Collins' place. Please turn the car, turn around, go and drop us. Everything I was saying were just falling on nothing. Just like water falling on stone. Nobody was listening. Nobody was hearing me. I was just talking and shouting, and they just kept mute. At this point, Jane was complaining. She kept shouting, I'm going to arrest you, my mom is coming to arrest you, my mom is this, my mom is that. And I was just pleading, like, you guys, let's just go back, please take us back. And they were 4 guys, and they were calm. They didn't look like they wanted to harm us. They didn't look like they wanted to do anything. They were just calm. They were just quiet. We are just going to pick up something from the house. Our house is closed already, so we just want to pick up something, and then we'll take the girls back home. So they drove all the way, and I kept complaining. I kept begging, please take us back home. We don't want to follow you to your house. We don't know where your house is. I just kept begging, and Jane kept shouting. She kept complaining. We just kept driving and turning deaf ear to what we were saying. And I noticed a signboard. If you are from Aginebode, Edo State, after Auchi, you know the distance between Aginebode and Ibiebwa, right? And I saw a signboard Ibiebwa. Prior to that, I really did not go out of my village or town, in quotes. I don't go out of my town. I really do not know all those villages, but I have heard of the villages, and I saw this is another village away from where we live. They kept driving and they came to a stop, and then I saw this house that had this slab around it, and one guy came out of the house and was just looking like he's monitoring everywhere. Another one came out. Before I said Jack, more than 3 guys came out of the house. Why? There were already 4 guys inside the car that we're in. So we stopped the car, and the guys started alighting. The ones that were sitting with us at the back came down, and the one at the front came down as well. The one at the driver's seat came down as well. So they asked us to come down, and then I said I'm not coming down, that I want to go home. Whatever they want to pick, they should pick it and then take me home. One of them just blurted out, "Come down from this car now." I said, "Come down from this car now." That was when it dawned on me that, girl, you are in trouble. This is trouble. And then I came down from the car, and he asked us to get our things from the trunk of the car. We had our costumes that we took to the show, so mine was in the boot, hers as well. We basically kept them in the boot of the car, so he asked us to come to take them down, and I took my costume down, and she did as well, and we're just standing there. What's the next step? What's the next? What are we doing next? And they said we should go in. These guys were tall, they had broad chests, toned broad chests, huge guys. I didn't know anyone from Adam. I'm in a strange place I've never been to. Like, before we got to the house, I was seeing bushes. Thank God nobody blindfolded anybody everywhere. And you're asking me to go in and do what? I refused. I just stood there, and they said, "Go in, go and rest." I don't want to rest. I want to go home. That's basically all I want to do. But they insisted that I would go inside to, take a chill pill, do this, do that. And at this point, I started crying and I started begging. I was just turning to them one after the other and just like, "Please, I want to go home. My mom will be worried. I don't know. I can't call anybody. I don't know what to do." I didn't have a phone then. I didn't basically have anything. So I was just like, "Please, I need to go home. I need to go home." And one of the guys stood at the door. He was just like, "That why am I crying? Why am I worried? I should just go inside and go and relax. Must I stay? Okay, do I want to stay outside? I just like, no, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go home. You all promised that you were going to take me home. This is not home. This is not the plan." While we were talking, Jane went inside. And after a while, everybody went inside except me. So I climbed onto the slab and I curled myself up. And I used the wrapper that I took to the show to wrap myself in the cold because it was a cold night. And I just sat there and I was shaking. They didn't lock the door, so I guess they were expecting me to come in, and of course they believed that I can't go. I didn't know anywhere. It was late. I didn't even know where I was going to. I didn't know where we were, so there was no way I could say, "Let me run." It was the middle of the night. Where will I run to? So I just sat there and I was just praying in my heart that, "God, please, somebody should come and help me. Somebody should come and help me." And then one of the guys said to me, before they all went inside, when I was crying and shouting and complaining, one of the guys just stood in front of the door and said, "Quit whining. It's going to be a long night. The earlier you realize it, the better for you." What? Everybody pretended like they didn't hear what he said, but I heard, and I heard what he said clearly. I just sat there. And then one of them came out to convince me to go in. So while he was convincing me, he asked me to look at Jane, that Jane was resting easy. Jane was lying on the couch, that we are going to be fine. Tomorrow morning we'll go home. And I peeped through the window and I saw Jane lying on the couch really with a duvet rolled over her, a blanket rolled over her, like on her. She was covered and she was lying down. So he was trying to convince me that Jane is okay, that as well I should go in as well and lie down. But I told him I can't. I don't feel safe. I've lost count at this point. I don't even know the number. You are over 8 guys here. I don't know any of you, and we're just 2 girls. I should just go in and lie down and sleep. I wasn't comfortable. So that guy was standing with me, and I started begging him. I knelt down. I was crying. I was begging, please take me home, please take me home. Everyone had gone inside. It was just me and the guy, and I was just begging. And at some point, he was just tired of convincing, I guess. And then he said he can't take me home, that this car cannot leave here without those guys' notice, and that those guys are not willing for me to live here, that he does not know how he's going to help me. Just like, please help me. To cut the story short, he now agreed that he was going to take me home, but that he has a bike. His bike is, I think, at the back of the house, that he's just going to roll the bike down the road, and then I should just, once he rolls the bike out of the house and down the road, I should just follow him, and then he will start the bike from there and we'll go. At this point, I didn't even know if I should follow him or I should stay back and sleep inside, but I know that I was not going to lay down inside this house with these guys, so I followed him. Yeah, I did. So while we were going, I asked about Jane. I was like, oh, let's call Jane. He just asked me plainly, do you want to stay with Jane or you want to go home? Because Jane is resting. And I told him that I wanted to go home. So he drove me down. It was a cold night. It was just the sound, his sound of bike that was echoing. I was just praying in my heart that let me just get home safe. Let me just get home safe. We got to the middle of the road and he stopped. I felt it was fear, because it was in the middle of the road. He didn't drive to anywhere funny. He didn't divert. It was just straight road. And what happened before I finished, I just felt my own was finished. My luck, I've run out of luck today, because I finally found somebody that would take me home, and now bike is not going anywhere. So he stopped and I was asking, is there anything wrong? Has the fuel finished? Is something wrong? And he said, calm down. What did you say? He said, I said, calm down. And I just told myself, you just shot yourself on the foot. Like right now, nobody's going to protect you. Who are you going to shout to? It's in the middle of the road, no houses, nothing, nobody, cars not passing, no vehicle. And I was just like, I just sat there. I didn't obey him. I just kept saying, please, I'm a child. I don't know. I'm a young girl. Please don't do this to me. I'm sure you have a younger sister. And then he asked, would you rather it's just me, or you have all those guys pounce on you throughout the night? And I didn't even know how to answer that question. Am I supposed to say, yes, I would rather it's you? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to rape me? Are you going to kill me? Or are you going to do? He said I should answer, do I prefer just him, or he should take me back to that place and have 8 of them pounce on me? And I just didn't know how to answer, because it was seeming like he's asking for my permission to go ahead and rape me. And I just sat there. I was tired of crying. At this point, I didn't even cry anymore. I was just begging. And I just folded my hands like this. Before that, I was flagging down cars behind him, because he was riding the bike. And I saw a car coming behind. I was flagging down the car. We had, gone far. I didn't believe that it was those guys. So I was trying to flag down cars, but I didn't get any. None got to stop. Of course, it was the middle of the night and I don't expect anybody. It might be a plan. And security wasn't this bad then. At some point, I got tired. I folded my hands and I was just thinking. In my head, I was already lying down on the ground in the bush. He already, ripped me apart. And I just felt like something thrust inside of me. And my head exploded. There was this pain and everything. I was just there lost in thoughts. And he said, hold on, hold on tight, we are going home, let's go. What? And then I held on and he drove me all the way home to my house. When I got down, I asked why he had a change of mind. He said, I saw the rosary on your neck. The question you asked if I had a younger sister, I'm the last one of my family. We do not have a girl. We are all boys. I couldn't relate. But I saw the rosary on your neck and I just couldn't do it. I got home. I got inside the house and I checked time. It was 3 a.m. The next morning, Jane came to the house, and of course I narrated everything that happened to my mom. And she came to the house to tell me that I abandoned her, that I'm a wicked person, that you abandoned me and left me there. And I hope you learned one or two from this story. Do take care of your words, protect them at all times. My name is Nora Mohammed and this is Nora's Word. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Till I come your way next time, this is Nora's Word. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.